These are the 7 levels of aesthetics, from asleep all the way to having the AAA physique. We're going to get into the treatment you will receive from having these physiques and the experience you will get along the way. So let's get into the very start of the aesthetics journey, completely asleep. So this is like right as you started the gym or right before you started the gym. You're usually very insecure, you're confused. The fitness industry is a confusing place when you don't know what you're doing, so you have no idea where to even start. And this is probably the reason why a lot of people don't start, is because they think the whole thing is all just too hard. And then the more they go along the journey, they realize it's actually a pretty simple process. Almost every gym goer starts the same. It's a moment of action. Something bad happens and they realize they have to lock the fuck in. And this usually stems from feeling invisible to women and men, often getting overlooked. You're not getting the respect you deserve. Subconsciously, you know men don't respect you at the level you want to be respected, and you see the gym as the way to fix that. And if you're unfamiliar with the channel, we speak real shit here. This is a cope-free zone. So a lot of you probably just heard that and went, bro, it's not that deep. It's just the gym, right? Oh, I don't train for women. Look through some of the other videos. You'll see that we are highly against the cope mindset. Subconsciously, you are doing it for vain reasons. And then we move on to level 2, which is the casual beginner. This is a very motivating, exciting time for everyone. You're in the gym, you're taking your pre-workout, you're learning new things every single day, but you don't have the information you need to actually build a good physique yet. You're wandering around the gym, trying out random machines, asking people for advice, watching Harley twins online, trying to get an idea and a grasp of the information you need. A lot of guys have extremely high expectations at the start. They think their fitness journey is going to be a matter of months. And then at level 2, they soon realize that this is a very long road. It takes time. So most guys actually do get frustrated around this time within the first 6 months. They're sort of underwhelmed with what they achieved, even though they got the most gains that they'll probably ever get in their life, right? They got newbie gains, but usually their expectations were even higher than that. I know mine were especially. I thought it took 6 months to achieve a physique, soon to realize it takes fucking 6 years. This is also where people will start hating maybe your close friend group because it's such a switch of identity, right? Maybe you were a complete loser, video game addict, you spent all day on Discord, and now you're hanging up the Discord call to go work out, and they're like, what? Why are you working out, bro? Just play fucking Valorant with us. They will see you trying to rise above them, and they do not like that. People also won't take your gym journey as seriously as you do, and they might see it as a bit of a phase for you because they've never actually seen any proof that you can stick to something long term. And this is where you can't fold and you have to stick to it to prove everyone wrong. This is also like the awkward stage where your life starts to revolve around the gym, yet you don't even look like you go to the gym. And this was me when I first started in school. I'd be bringing protein shakes to school. I'd have all these protein snacks, and I was a little string bean, right? My arms were like this thin. I didn't look like I'd ever touched a weight in my life. I was still smaller than everyone else at school. And they would just absolutely take the piss out of me, like, yeah, drink your protein shake, bro. What's that doing? You're not even big. Then we move on to level 3, which is the progressing beginner. This, I'd say, is around year 1 and above. So this is after your first year of gym. I'd say this is when you really start to get consistent and start actually making some serious progress because you're starting to lock everything in. You are motivated by the progress itself. You're starting to see the differences in the mirror. Bigger biceps, maybe a fuller chest. And this, I'd say, is the point of no return. Once you can see there's a direct output from the input that you do every single day, this is where you know that you can't turn back. You are a full-fledged gym goer at this point. This is where the friends that were hating start to notice the progress and maybe even start asking you for advice or to join the workouts with you. And you will notice small changes in treatment. You become someone that people will take the piss out of to someone that people can even look up to in terms of going to the gym and someone that is knowledgeable in those areas. And if you were already a handsome guy, you might even notice slight improvements in choosing signals, attraction, results on dating apps, especially if you follow our philosophy of framing your physique in the best light, taking the right photos and putting them on Tinder. And because this is so powerful, we actually have an entire course on it. And I believe that you don't even need that much experience to really see results from a physique built at this level. Then we move up to level 4, which is the disciplined lifter. And I would say this is after year 2, realistically. When it becomes like brushing your teeth, it becomes a part of your everyday routine, and it just becomes a part of your identity at that point. You are just the gym goer, you go to gym, it's not abnormal, it's not weird, it's just a normal part of your life. I would say this is when you get into the top 5% of all men, because realistically, everyone sucks, man. Everyone's overweight, no one is disciplined, and if you're disciplined enough to stick to the gym for at least 2 years, you are easily in the top 5% of all men. And this is when your friend group starts to become really small, because as you progress, you have to cut the rope with the guys down below so they don't hold you down. And it's very common that you will start to be more solo. You will start to have more of this individualistic mentality. This is where jealousy jealousy really starts to come in because you've been so consistent for a while and other people have just been out there doing their bad habits. They have probably regressed while you are progressing, and maybe not even just gym at this point, but this has started to snowball into other areas of your life as well. You've become more disciplined with your finances, your habits, your self-improvement journey, and people just start to be completely jealous of it because you are actually seeing results from it. But the men that are on their shit, right, hate only comes from below. So the men that are also on their shit will gain way more respect for you because you are now trusted as someone that can look after themselves, right? Women will notice, especially if you've been going to the gym for like 2 years now. Pretty much everyone after 2 years, if they've got their diet on check and they didn't dirty bulk too hard and they've stayed lean like we always say, you've most likely built an attractive physique. However, I'd say you still blend in for the main reason that you're joining a different club when you go to the gym. When you go to the gym, there are two different parties. You're either in the locked out party or the locked in party, and you realize there's actually a competition when before you might not have even realized that almost every single male is actually in a competition, and it's those guys that are consciously aware of the competition that you have to compete against. So I'd say after 2 years of the gym, you probably still blend in realistically. And it also massively depends like where you are in the world and what gym you went to. This is something me and Nelson very quickly realized last week. We were in Bali. We went to some of the biggest gyms there, like Obsidian. And compared to like the gyms around here in our local area, it's a whole different sea of fish, right? You instantly become the small fish in a big pond. I went from having probably top 10% physique in my local gym to bottom 10% physique in Obsidian. It was actually crazy to see, but I see that as a good thing. Then we move up to level 5, which I'd say is the true aesthetics builder. At this level, you actually have a risk of becoming a gym cell. A gym cell refers to someone who revolves his entire life around the gym, and there's a reason for it, because once you get past these newbie game phases, you realize you have to seriously lock in if you want to take your physique to the next level. At this point, this is where other factors outside of just the training come into play, right? You're probably not drinking alcohol. You're probably not going out and partying. You're probably meal prepping your food, tracking your food. You're probably tracking your workouts. You're getting your sleep hygiene in check. And this stuff realistically takes out of other aspects of your life, like socializing. But massive confidence is built from real world results. I always say this, confidence comes from competence. And once you've built yourself a truly aesthetic, impressive physique, it's very hard not to be confident. When you are just simply, realistically better than most people, it's hard not to act like it. So you will just be confident as a byproduct of getting treated in a way where women respect you. There's just a massive halo effect in general. People will treat you better, more opportunities, things of that nature. But on the flip side, if this happens pretty quickly and maybe you have good genetics or you started off at a very bad position, like you were very overweight, this can actually happen quick enough to where I'd say you get imposter syndrome. Just the general treatment you'll get in life from essentially everyone will be completely different, and your brain will not catch up to that, especially the kind of women that become attracted to you. It almost seems like a setup. It's like, there's no way you're attracted to me, but you fail to realize the progress you've actually made and that you're actually a standout guy now. And most of the time, your impression of yourself lags by like a year. Then we move up to level 6. This is the top 1% of all physiques. This is with at least 5 years in the gym. This is called the standout physique for a reason, because you stand out massively. You can't go anywhere without getting looks, choosing signals from women, stares from men. And you will most likely, as a byproduct of having such a standout physique, have a higher value friend group. You might be able to connect now with guys that are really on their shit, whether that be financially, they have the lifestyle you want or the physique you want. You're able to connect now with higher level individuals because they respect you as a disciplined man. And this almost happens subconsciously, simply because you just have less to talk about with your old friends. Literally all of my friends are in the gym now. And I didn't actively do that. I didn't like stop being friends with people that didn't go to the gym. I didn't find people to be friends with in the gym. It just kind of naturally happens because you just relate on things a lot more. It doesn't really make much sense to be friends with like your Discord mates. In terms of the treatment you get for having such physique, there is massive choosing signals in general. It is extremely easy to go and get women. We actually proved this in a video we recently filmed that we haven't finished yet, where I am so confident with cold approaches now because I have a good physique and I've built myself a good image. It is impossible to not get choosing signals from women and then go ahead and very easily get their number or their Instagram and get their contact and then progress it from there. Dating in general becomes extremely easy. Men also want to be you. They associate your good physique with just being a better individual in general. They just want to be you, which is why you have insane online potential, especially for making money online and building a business and a personal brand. I think this is honestly one of the biggest reasons you should get in shape, is to inspire others to get to your level. And then in trade for that, you can charge for services and so on and so forth. You will also have a better personality. No, that's not a joke. You will have a good personality because of the treatment you get from other people. People think that you just have a good personality because that's the way you were born. No, oftentimes attractive people are better to talk to. They have better personalities because other people treat them better. An ugly person doesn't have a good personality because he's not rewarded for it. Anytime he opens his mouth, he's often met with a lack of interest and just a lack of care realistically. And in terms of even like having conversations with people that are really dialed into their gym, got their diet on point, and realistically have like dopamine detox from a lot of the bullshit in the world, they have a lot more introspective thoughts, a lot more authentic thoughts, because they simply just have a clearer mind because of the diet, because of the fact that they do hard things, they abstain from cheap dopamine sources. These people are a lot more intellectual in general because they're not frying their brain with terrible quality foods, scrolling, things of that nature. And then we move up to level 7, which hardly anyone is actually at, which is the AAA physique, a true AAA physique. This comes after 6 to 7 years of gym with good genetics, having aesthetics in mind. This is peak confidence, peak leverage. You can literally use your physique for anything at that point, like dating, making money online, even like a bodybuilding competition, realistically, if you wanted to do that. It comes with status, money, influence, easy opportunities, max female attraction. This is when life becomes incredibly easy, and it's basically the halo effect summed up. And I think it's what every man should inspire to get to due to the ease of life. Yeah, I mean, like you chuck a few photos up that are high appeal on Tinder, it's 99 plus likes. Pretty much straight away. Cold approaches, 90% success rate. Personal brand, you don't even need to really provide them much value, you just need to look good on camera. I mean, people will stuff their nose up at this stuff and think that it's just superficial or it's not like actually gonna make that much of an impact. You guys are delusional, but all I need to say is get to at least a level 5, 6, or 7 physique and come back to me. And we have made this exact transformation, guys. We went from being below a 1, if that was even a thing. We were emaciated. We were not attractive, if I'm being honest. We had no direction. We were addicted to drugs. We had no direction at all. And we have built ourselves a pretty decent physique, and we've seen the real world impacts. We have put it to test time after time, and we have taught hundreds of clients now how to build this physique and gotten transformations, and they've told us themselves the real world effects of having a good physique and having a good image. I mean, no bullshit, guys. If you simply just want the system to get from a level 1 physique all the way to the AAA physique, aesthetic, attractive, where you get real world results, we even teach you how to leverage these real world results to take photos, get dates, looks maxing, and everything else that goes alongside the physique inside the Spartan protocol. That's right there. Just click that button. You can learn more. You can hear from the guys that have built these physiques inside the program. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the subscribe button, click that link up there to transform your physique, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.